This video is about inversion, and by the end of the video you should know how to invert an interval and how to recognize when two intervals are inversionally related. Okay, so inversion occurs when the bottom note of an interval becomes the top note, or vice versa, when the top note becomes the bottom note. And you can easily accomplish this by either raising the bottom note by an octave until it becomes the top note, or by lowering the top note by an octave until it becomes the bottom note. Okay, so let's take this first interval for example. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify the interval's name, right? So I've got D to F sharp. So first things first, the size. So D is 1, 2, 3, so this is a third. Oops, third. And I need to know, is it major, minor, augmented, diminished? So I'm going to take a look at the major scale of the bottom note, right? So in D major, is there an F sharp? And the answer is yes, so this interval is major. Okay, so there's a major third. And then what I'm going to do is invert that interval. So again, just looking at our definition up here, we can raise the bottom note by an octave until it becomes the top note. That's one strategy, right? So I'm going to take this D and I'm going to put it up an octave. Okay, so I'll rewrite my F sharp over here, and then I'll move the D up here. Okay, so the D went up an octave, and now the two positions of the notes are reversed. That's inversion, okay? So now the D is above the F sharp, and I want to know what's this new interval that I've created. So let's figure out the name of this interval. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a sixth. Okay. And in the F sharp major scale, there is no D natural. Okay. It should be D sharp instead. In F sharp, there is a D sharp. Okay. So what I've done is made the interval smaller, right? I've lowered the top note by a half step. So this is minor. Okay, so the major third inverts to a minor sixth. Let's try the other strategy up here where it says we can lower the top note by an octave until it becomes the bottom note. Let's try that with this one. Okay, so here we've got a perfect fourth. Okay, and this time I'm going to take the D flat that's on top and make it the bottom note. Okay, so I'll rewrite my A flat over here, and then the D flat is going to come down here, like that. Okay, so it went down an octave and became the bottom note, and now it's a perfect fifth, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth. Okay, and in the key of D flat there is an A flat, so that means it's perfect. So the perfect fourth inverted to a perfect fifth. Okay, let's try one more here. We've got C sharp to G. Okay, this interval is a diminished fifth. Okay, and I'll try inverting that by raising the bottom note by an octave. Okay, so here's a G, and if I raise the C sharp, it ends up here. Okay, and now I've got a fourth, and in the key of G, C should be natural, right? So I've raised it a half step, so that means it's become an augmented fourth. Okay, let's take a look so far at what we've done here. So we've got a major third becomes a minor sixth, a perfect fourth becomes a perfect fifth, and a diminished fifth becomes an augmented fourth. Notice something about the relationship between the two sizes, right? So 3 and 6, 4 and 5, 5 and 4. If I add those numbers together, 3 and 6 become 9, 4 and 5 are 9, and 5 and 4 are 9. So two simple intervals that are inversionally related, their sizes will add to 9. Okay. Similarly, all major intervals will become minor, and vice versa. Okay. All perfect intervals will stay perfect. Okay. And all diminished intervals will become augmented, and vice versa. So when you invert a major interval or a minor interval, they swap. Okay. Same thing for diminished and augmented, they swap, but perfect stays the same. And the sizes always add to 9. Okay, there's one other issue with inversion that we want to take a look at, and that's inverting a compound interval. What happens when we invert a compound interval? According to our instructions up here, we can raise the bottom note by an octave until it becomes the top note, right? So I'm going to start by raising this B flat 1 octave. Okay. So here the B flat is still underneath the D flat, so it hasn't become the top note, so I haven't inverted it yet, right? But if I raise it 1 more octave, so I'll rewrite the D flat over here. If I raise this B flat 1 more octave, so now it's up here, now it's become the top note and I've inverted the interval. Okay, so here we had B flat to D flat is a minor 10th. Okay, and then when it's inverted, it becomes a major 6th. So this one was compound, and this one is simple. Okay, so a compound interval will invert to a simple interval. Okay, and obviously simple intervals always invert to simple intervals. So here's a little summary of what we've just learned. Okay, try it on your homework and let me know if you have any questions.